Alright, so I'm about to go on a tangent here, and I gotta be upfront. This is gonna sound really petty and really insignificant and stupid at first, and it probably is, but damn it, it still pisses me off. And hey, you're the one who clicked on the video, so like it or not, here we go. Due to months and months of consistent fan requests and a certain amount of personal curiosity, I decided to start watching Star Wars: The Mother Effing Clone Wars. The series of which recently wrapped up this year with the final season that was made by Disney and was first publicly aired on their streaming site, Disney+. And by most accounts, it was a really well-received season. People really liked it. I've heard the majority of people loved the 7th Clone Wars season and what it did for the franchise, and a lot of them felt fulfilled by the experience. However, there is a select few people that have told me that Disney only made the final season so that they could do the final 4 episodes of it, which, you know, if you follow Star Wars for any amount of time, you'll know that is definitely going to tie in with Order 66. But anyway, I haven't seen it yet. That's just what I've heard, so make of that what you will. But you'll notice I said 7 seasons of the Clone Wars. 7. 5 of which Disney pretty much had absolutely no involvement in whatsoever. Seasons of a show they cancelled after Disney made the 6th season and left the series in the dust for several years, until they decided to start the Clone Wars Saved campaign as a marketing ploy to hype up the 7th and final season of the show, after they pretty much made a fool out of themselves for everything the franchise still had going for it, which Disney ran into the ground. But yeah, the marketing campaign was Clone Wars Saved. They saved a show they cancelled in the first place and made 2 seasons, only one of which to my knowledge was well received. One good season of a series started by George Lucas and his staff back in 2007, who handled everything up until Disney bought the rights to Star Wars and the Clone Wars in 2012. But based on what Disney Plus is advertising, that's not what Disney would have you believe. What they would have you believe, in an effort to delude the young and ignorant masses, is that Disney started and finished the entire Clone Wars series entirely by themselves, as a part of their long-term plan to eventually erase the past and have the original product of the original Lucasfilm headed by George Lucas lost to time, so that 5 years from now, 11-year-old Johnny and Timmy will be praising Mickey Mouse for their creative brilliance and have it drilled into their brains that Disney were the ones that created Star Wars, and they were the ones who created the Clone Wars, and they're the ones to thank for the Clone Wars and where it is today. Because this right here is how the Clone Wars series is advertised on Disney+. Not the final season of Star Wars: The Clone Wars. Every season of Star Wars: The Clone Wars, with a title and thumbnail that very clearly says Star Wars: The Clone Wars, the final season. Click here to watch the final season of Star Wars: The Clone Wars, because apparently that's the only season that bloody counts. Because it's the only thing Disney made that was worth the shit regarding that product. And then you click on it, and you see every season and episode of the Clone Wars under this one tab, which Disney didn't even bother to put in chronological order. Yes, I had to find that out the hard way. But Disney made sure to advertise this product, that 85% of which they had virtually nothing to do with, as Star Wars: The Clone Wars, the final season. It's like having an author that's worked really hard on a comic book, which they've both illustrated and written every page of. That's his own intellectual property, and then the publishing company passes it up to a more reputable author to edit the work and add some stuff in, and then the book gets published, and on the cover the original author isn't even mentioned. That doesn't exactly correlate, but you guys see what I'm getting at, right? It's very, very slimy, and as someone who hadn't watched the Clone Wars before, I was first confused, and then after I realized what was going on, I was angry. Very angry. Because, let me give you 2 reasons aside from the slimy agenda of Disney to warp history and erase George Lucas. Let me give you 2 reasons as someone who hasn't watched the Clone Wars before why this is really, really fucking stupid. Firstly, on this thumbnail for the Clone Wars series, we see Ahsoka Tano, who's grown up and is still alive, by the way, and we see Darth Bloody Maul, who's alive after getting chopped in half, and who looks to be the main bloody antagonist in the Clone Wars series based off this poster. Now, I've seen Solo, and I've been told bits and pieces about the Clone Wars, and I've accidentally come across some clips. But for anyone who's going into this with very fresh eyes, and who hasn't watched any other Star Wars material outside the mainline episodes, The Phantom Menace, where Darth Maul supposedly gets killed, and episodes 2 to 6, the Disney ones don't fucking count, this is a really big problem. Because thanks Disney for busting out a major spoiler before people have even had taken the time to watch one bloody episode of the series. Yeah, it's eye-catching, it's a neat thumbnail, but it says final season and it shows Ahsoka and Maul survive until then at the very least, which is gonna eliminate a shit ton of tension and surprises from anyone who wants to watch the Clone Wars through organically in its entirety, the majority of which you had nothing to do with. Including the return of Darth Maul, which was very likely intended to be a twist by the original writers, you twats. And the second reason why this is stupid is because I, as a newcomer to the series, didn't want any spoilers, and I didn't want to watch what I thought was only the final season of the Clone Wars. I wanted to watch it from the start. So it's story time, guys. You ready? I scroll way up, down, side to side, and I'm just like, where the hell is the damn Clone Wars series? Has Disney not uploaded all the other seasons? And then I see this, and I'm like, oh, there we go. This looks like the Clone Wars. I guess I should start here. So I click on it, and I watched it, and I was like, why does it say it was made in 2007? I thought Clone Wars started in 2008. And then I watched it through, and it was awesome. But after an hour and a half, it's over. And I'm like, what? What the hell? Where's the rest of it? Did I click the wrong thing? And in case you haven't pieced it together yet, yes, I watched the theatrical release of the Clone Wars movie entirely by accident. And thank God for that, because if I hadn't, I would have just started watching the Clone Wars out of order, mind you. And the first thing I would have said is, which Twi'lek asshole did Ahsoka crawl out from under? And how the hell is she here? Because, yeah, thankfully I got to see Ahsoka's first appearance in Star Wars, which was in the theatrical cut. And the theatrical cut is not with the Clone Wars series, but it's advertised as Star Wars The Clone Wars, as you can see here. Thanks Disney for not just misleading viewers who want to watch the entire Clone Wars series, which you did not create, and had almost nothing to do with until 2014 and 2020, but also thank you for keeping the theatrical release and arguably one of the most important pieces of Clone Wars content completely separate from the rest of the bloody series. And you know, people are going to say, oh, boo-hoo, cry me a river, who gives a shit? Well, there you go. That was my experience so far with the Clone Wars. And yes, it absolutely can happen, and I imagine it's happened to other fans as well. But above all else, above all the confusing, nonsensical structure of the Clone Wars on Disney+, using this piece of shit thumbnail to market the entirety of the Clone Wars is just yet another gigantic, massive, slimy fucking middle finger to George Lucas, the OG Lucasfilm staff, and the legacy of Star Wars as a whole. I got better shit to talk about than this. Trust me, I've got several videos in the works. So I'm not currently actively looking for drama here. This was my experience, and I see Disney's slimy, corporate, clean image, history-walking, agenda-driven mitts all over this. This reminds me when they were trying to shield International Women's Day and they only showed one tiny clip of Queen Amidala, when she was easily the best female character in the entirety of Star Wars. Yes, even better than Leia, and Amidala shits mountains of her feces all over Rey, Holdo, Rose, or any sad excuse of a female character. Kathleen and the new Lucasfilm have tried churning out of that now political abortion of a company and tried to showcase on International Women's Day, whilst keeping the true excellent female characters of Star Wars almost completely under the rug. And I see that happening here with Clone Wars. All the good that George and his team did while Lucasfilm was in the right hands is being swept under the rug again, so that Disney could shill their bullshit front and center for people to click on and give people the wrong idea. Disney, and whoever's in charge of Disney Plus, do the right thing, remove the final season crap for how you're advertising the Clone Wars, and make a new Clone Wars poster that highlights everything without spoilers, so that people will know what to click on, without being dishonest, deceitful pricks, and have the theatrical cut as the prologue for the series under the same bloody tab, and stop being a bunch of slimy assholes. Also, reorganize the episodes in the chronological order. I shouldn't have to go to the internet to figure that out. Damn it, Disney. It just never ends with you guys. That's my rant. Hope you enjoyed. I usually don't script my rants, but I decided to make an exception in this case. But yeah, let me just say right now, if you haven't caught on yet, I'm going to be making reviews of the Clone Wars. I hope to have Season 1's review up within a fortnight, and I'm also working on other projects and the second channel too, link for which is in the description. But before I go, just a couple of things. First of all, thank you to all my patrons and YouTube members. You guys are awesome. I really appreciate all of your generosity and support for the channel. thank you. If you'd like to support the channel with a monthly donation, even if it's just $1 per month, the link to Patreon is in the description, and YouTube members are accessible by clicking the join button. Also, go and check out the channel's Discord server. What Discord basically is an online community where followers of this channel go to congregate and talk about a range of different topics, ranging from Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, anime, and so on. Check it out, link is in the description, and who knows, maybe you'll make some friends along the way. If you're interested in more content, check out the rest of the links in the description, or subscribe down below and click the bell. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Here's one more thank you for staying to the end of the video. You are a legend, and I'll see you next time.